So lay back flat on your mat and really make your body as comfortable as possible. So usually we would walk our heels about mat width apart to give our hips a little bit of space to open and relax, letting the toes roll towards the outside corners of the room. And then bring your arms halfway between your hips and your shoulders, palms up towards the ceiling. And then tuck your shoulder blades under the back of the body. So you get a gentle lift through the chest, an opening through the collarbone, letting us really take nice deep breaths. If your lower back is feeling tender tonight, feel free to bend your knees and place the soles of the feet on the mat instead, lowering the lower back to the floor, grounding it a little bit, should feel a little bit more comfortable. Or if you're feeling tight through the hips, now again, this is just the start of our class, so we all might feel tight through the hips, but if you're interested, you can always bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees drop out to the side. You'll get a little stretch through the inner thighs and hip flexors. However, sometimes at the beginning of the practice, this can just actually feel too much, too intense. So adjust as needed for tonight. This is your practice, your time. And the more relaxed, the better. The more our body will absorb all the benefits of our stretching and our deep breaths throughout our practice. Bring one hand to your chest, one hand to your abdomen if you haven't already. And I'd like you to really feel your breath. So with each inhale, expand the chest, the abdomen, and back. So you should feel your hands rise. You should feel a little pressure on the mat under your body as your back expands. And then as you exhale, your whole body should relax. Your hands should sink down. Cindy mentioned at the beginning of class doing stretches to open up along the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, the chest, and upper back. So oftentimes we hold tension in these areas. Often if we sit at a computer as well or at a phone all day, we get a little bit crunched up, ears or our shoulders come up towards our ears. So I really want you to think about breathing and opening up that space as much as possible, because as we get stressed and tense those muscles, our breathing tends to become more shallow. So now's the time. Open it up, retrain the body to take nice deep breaths. Walk the heels together, interlace your fingers, flip the palms up and away from the body, and lengthen your body as much as possible. So reach through the palms, point the toes, lengthen your spine, continue to breathe deeply, feeling the rib cage expand. And then slide your hands over towards the right side of your mat or the right corner of your room, creating more length through the left side of the torso and under the arm. Come back through center and reach towards the left side of the mat now, feeling the stretch on the right side of the body. Back through center, and bring your arms down to your side. Plant the palms, so your arms don't need to be next to your hips. They can be slightly out, open from the body. We're going to bend our knees, bring the thighs together, and then gently lower the legs down to the left side. Look over your right shoulder. So just a gentle spinal twist. Again, this is early on in our practice, so we really want to move gradually. And let's bring the knees back up through center and over to the right. So we're going to do this a couple times on each side. Once your legs are in kind of a comfortable position off to the side, turn your head and look the opposite direction. Keep your shoulders back and relaxed. Let's lift the knees up through center, switching sides. And last time, switch. And bring the knees back into the center, soles of the feet on the mat. Pick up the right leg, place the right ankle on top of the left knee or thigh. Reach the right hand through the legs, left hand on the outside of the left thigh, and draw the legs in towards your chest. So we want to feel this stretch through the outside of the right thigh, maybe even on your inner thigh as well. Again, we're all tight in different areas. If you'd like to intensify this, you can walk your hands to the left shin, or you can use your right elbow to press the right knee away from the torso. Let's release the hands and switch the legs. So right foot to the mat, left ankle on top of the right knee or upper thigh, left hand through the legs, right hand on the outside. Draw the legs in. And let's release. Excellent. So lower the left foot down to the mat. And we're going to push our bodies up so we can swing ourselves around and come into child's pose. So bend the knees, flatten the tops of the feet to the mat, sit your hips back on your heels. Let's start with our arms extended, forehead down to the mat, or maybe you're more comfortable, again, since it's just our warm up, with one fist on top of the other and forehead on top. But let your body relax. Now bring your awareness to your breath, deeply inhaling, expanding the back, the ribs out to the sides. And now lift our heads up, walk our hands forward slightly, lifting the hips off of the heels, bring them over your knees. And we're going to take our right hand, place the back of the hand to the floor just under our chest, and we're going to thread the needle. So we're going to slide the right hand over to the left side, lowering our right tricep, shoulder, and then our right ear and temple down to the mat. So we're going to keep our hips lifted. And as we breathe here, maybe we can inch our fingertips a little bit further to the left. We want to feel a stretch through the upper back, the back side of the shoulder, the right shoulder. If you don't quite feel that stretch, you can continue to reach the fingers further from the body, or maybe lower your hips a little bit further back, might shift that stretch and feel a little bit better. Let's press into the left hand so we can lift the head, neck, and chest. Bring the right hand back out. Plant the right hand down on the mat now, and we'll take the left hand, back of the hand to the floor, under the torso, slide it over to the right, lowering the left shoulder, the left ear and temple. Breathe deeply. Good, let's release. Bring the left hand back out, pressing through the right palm to lift the chest, and then plant the left hand back down on the floor. Let's do a couple cat-cows. So make sure your knees are under your hips, your hands are under your shoulders, and we'll move at our own pace with our own breath. Exhale, arching the back, drawing the chin towards the chest. Inhale as you round the spine and look upwards. Good, let's do one more. And then come to neutral spine. Taking a couple deep breaths. And from here, we'll lift into downward facing dog, curling the toes, lifting the knees off the mat, tailbone up towards the sky, root down through your heels, rotate the creases of the elbows forward, engaging the muscles along the back of the body, and breathe, looking back towards our feet. Maybe you want to pedal your heels, really wake up and lengthen the calves, or maybe you're feeling a little tense in the jaw, the neck, the throat. You can look side to side gently. Now let's walk our toes forward, coming into our forward fold. Tuck the chin towards your chest, look towards your knees, and breathe. Letting your body relax as much as possible over the length of your legs. And now let's round up, stacking the back all the way up to mountain pose, Tadasana, rolling the shoulders back and away from our ears, lifting the chin off the chest, looking forward, and breathing deeply. So come to the top of your mat if you're not already there, and let's move with our breath for some sun salutations. Inhaling, exhaling, palms together at the center of our chest. Inhale, lift your arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, forward fold, fingertips all the way down to the mat. Inhale, right leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes, exhaling, left leg back to plank. Inhale, exhale, lower, knees, chest and forehead, or chaturanga. Inhale, slide forward, press the palms, lift the chest, look up. And exhale, curl the toes, hips up and back, downward dog. Inhale, right leg forward, left knee down, foot flat. And exhale, left leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, forward fold, fingertips down to the mat. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes, exhaling, right leg back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower, knees, chest, and forehead, or chaturanga. Inhale, slide forward, press through the palms, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right knee down, foot flat. And exhale, right leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, release. One more set. Inhale, exhale, palms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes, exhaling, left leg back to plank. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, slide forward, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg forward, left knee down, foot flat. And exhale, left leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. And exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes, exhaling, right leg back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, slide forward, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right knee down, foot flat. And exhale, right leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, release, arms by the side, shoulders back and away from the ears. Take a couple nice deep breaths. Maybe shake out the legs or the arms, and we'll work on our balance a little bit. So Let's start with tree pose. We'll start by rooting down. I'll do a mirror image to you. We'll start by rooting down through the right foot. So spread your right toes nice and wide, knee is soft, shoulders are back, eyes are up and focused on a point that's not moving. And most importantly, we're gonna breathe deeply and evenly throughout the balance practice. So no holding our breath just because we take one foot off the ground. So let's peel the left foot off of the mat, and you can bring it on top of the right foot, to the right calf, or up to the inner thigh. If you want to try a more challenging version of tree pose, you can bring the foot, or the heel I should say, up to the right hip flexor, coming into a half lotus or a half easy pose position. So if you want to take this variation, you're welcome to use your hands to hold the foot there. Otherwise, you really need to press deeply, so turning on both the quad and actually the glute of the lifted leg to keep the foot in place. Okay, so holding it there is fine. There's only so many things really that we should focus on right now. So focus on the balance or focus on this variation. But our shoulders are back, and if our hands are not on our foot, let's bring them to our heart, or let's lift them all the way up. Now, if your foot placement is actually distracting you and you feel a little bit more wobbly, feel free to change it, all right? Come back up when you're ready. Take a nice deep breath and just settle in. Excellent. Let's lower our arms. And we're going to continue to stand on the right leg, but release the left leg. And now I'd like you to lift it back up again by bending the knee. So we're just reaching the left foot back up behind us, grabbing a hold of the foot or ankle and pulling the heel in towards the glute. So we're not going to move into full dancer pose, but I'd like you to get a stretch through the left thigh by pressing the kneecap down towards the mat. So don't leave the thigh forward, but instead it should be under the hips and shoulders. Okay, so let's hold it there, breathing deeply, finding that length through the hip flexor and quad, keeping our upper body nice and tall. And now let's lower the left foot and place it behind the right, so our feet are crossed. Lift the left arm all the way up and over to the right side, finding length through the side of the torso, the hip flexor, breathing deeply. Keep the shoulders forward. And release. Come through center, lower the left arm, bring the left foot back over to the left side of the body. Maybe you want to shake out the legs, shake out the arms. Take a nice deep breath. We're starting fresh on the opposite side. So let's root down through the left foot now. Spread the toes as wide as you can. So the wider we can make our base of support, the more steady we will be. Soften that knee so we're engaging the muscles. Roll the shoulders back. Eyes are up and focused on that point that's not moving. And when we're ready, we're peeling the right foot off of the mat. And we can try the same foot position we had on the previous side, or you can try something different, totally up to you. But breathe deeply. All right, again, no holding the breath just because we want to keep our body steady. We want to relax into this balanced posture. Bring your hands to your heart or all the way up. And let's release the arms. So we're going to go back into that quad stretch. If you can move there directly without lowering the foot, give that a try. Otherwise, lower the toes back down to the mat, bend the knee, and pull the heel back up behind you. But once we have a grip on the left foot or ankle, we're pressing the kneecap down towards the floor, finding that length through the front of the thigh. Shoulders are back, and we're breathing deeply. Excellent. Let's release the foot. Bring it down to the mat just behind the left foot. So we're planting the sole of the foot on the mat, lifting up the right arm, and exhale, reach over to the left side. Again, shoulders, abdomen, and hips are all facing forward. Lengthen through the fingertips. And let's come back through center, lower the arm, and bring the right leg back to the right side. Shake out the legs. Excellent. And we're going to bring our hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders back and away from your ears, reach the thumbs away from your tailbone, open the chest and look upwards. Find a little bit more length through the neck, the muscles along the throat. And now let's release the hands, bring them forward at shoulder height, reach the knuckles away from your body, round the back, and drop your chin down towards your chest. And release. Lift the chin off the chest, roll your shoulders back away from your ears. Roll out the shoulders a couple times in each direction. Good. So let's take our left arm, lift it up, bend the elbow, and now take the right hand and pull the left elbow towards the center of the body, finding length down the tricep. Maybe you'll even feel this down the side of the torso as well. But the left fingers should just be relaxed between the shoulder blades. Breathing deeply. And now let's keep our left arm where it is. Bring the right hand, back of the hand to the tailbone, slide it up the spine, reaching the right fingertips for the left. So if they don't quite touch today, that's okay. You can always release and just grab the back of your shirt or bring the right hand back up to the left elbow. Good. Let's release our grip. Roll the shoulders back. Roll them forward. And we'll switch sides. So right arm up, bend the elbow, take the left hand, draw the elbow in towards the midline. And now let's keep the right arm where it is. Bring the left hand to the lower back, back of the hand to the tailbone, slide it up, looking for those fingers. And this side may be different. You may find the hand right away. You may be a little bit further away, in fact, on this side. So one side is always a little bit tighter. So take the previous preparatory pose or just grab the back of your shirt. It's always good to attempt reaching for that hand, even if you're not quite there tonight. But that's how we get closer. Try and let your arms and shoulders relax. Maybe you can walk your fingers a little bit closer together. Let's take one more breath. And release. Good. Roll the shoulders back. Roll them forward. Excellent. Now, I'd like you to lift up the right hand, flex the palm, reach the left ear towards the left shoulder, and then press away through the right hand. So some nights I can straighten out that elbow before I feel a stretch, and other nights, depending, how tense I am, I feel that stretch immediately through the neck, just under the ear, and all the way down the arm. So play around with it a little bit. Maybe bring the chin forward, maybe roll the head back just slightly, but this is a nice deep stretch. Those muscles that press on the median nerve in the arm, you need to lengthen them. Good, let's release, chin towards the chest. Bring the right ear towards the right shoulder, flex the left hand, press away through the palm. So same thing, opposite side. But again, just like the previous posture, one side of the body generally is tighter than the other. Our dominant side tends to be a little bit more used, a little bit stronger, and then the muscles get tighter. So If you notice that, that's okay. Just hold it, maybe one extra breath. Good, let's release, chin to the chest, and lift the head up. Excellent. Let's walk our feet about mat width apart. Turn the toes about 45 degrees towards the corners of the room. Bring your hands to prayer position at the center of your chest, and let's move with our breath, building some heat and some strength through the lower body. So we're going to inhale down into our squat, glancing down, making sure the knees are pointing towards the second or third toe. We should feel a stretch through the inner thighs. And as we exhale, we're pressing through all edges of the foot to bring the body back up. So nice even movements, inhaling down low into that squat, exhaling, lifting the torso back up. On your next inhale, I'd like you to hold the squat, continue breathing, roll your shoulders back. We really want them stacked over the hips, keeping our upper body nice and steady. Don't move it at all. Peel one heel off of the mat, turn on that calf, and then gently lower it with control. Opposite side, lift the heel and lower. So try and keep the upper body steady. If someone just saw your shoulders and upwards, they wouldn't even know you were in a squat. They wouldn't know you were lifting one leg at a time. And again, opposite side. So we want nice and controlled movements. Good. One more each leg. And now let's lift both heels at once. Try and hold it steady here. Breathe. Excellent. Lower the heels, straighten out the knees. Exhaling, come all the way up. Good. Your legs should be feeling a little bit warmer. We're not quite done yet, but we'll give them a little break. So hands to the heart. Let's inhale and exhale. Inhale, sink down. Keep breathing. Stretch the arms out at shoulder height. Keep the torso nice and tall. Let's take another inhale. And on your exhale, lower your right hand down to the mat, just in front of the right arch, keeping the chest open, keeping a nice long line down the length of the arms, and most importantly, keeping the hips back. So we're still in our squat, we're not in a forward fold, and we're feeling that length down the left side of the torso. Let's take an inhale back to center, and an exhale, opposite side. Left hand down to the floor, reach up through the right fingertips, keep the hips back. Keep the knees open and pointing towards that second or third toe, feeling a length through the inner thighs. One more nice deep breath. And exhale, center, and all the way back up. Woo, excellent job. So let's shake out our legs and walk them wide. So you may need to rotate on your mat now. We want our feet parallel to one another, nice and wide for our wide leg forward fold. So let's bring our hands to our hips to start. Inhale. And exhale, hinge forward at the hips. We want to find length through the spine. So reach the crown of your head down towards the floor and then release the hands, bring them down to the mat for support. So we really want to sink down as far as we can into this fold, knowing we have the support and the balance coming from the hands. So if you could, walk your feet a little bit wider to intensify that stretch, or maybe you can walk your hands a little bit further back. So they're coming between the feet and a little bit further under the body so we can hinge forward a little bit tighter. Now you should feel this stretch along the back of the body, whether it's the back of the legs, maybe you're even feeling this into the lower back or through the inner thighs, all areas that need stretching. Keep the head and neck relaxed. And let's walk our hands over towards the right leg, rotating the chest towards the thigh, looking towards your knee, dropping the left shoulder down towards the floor as much as possible. Let's walk our hands back through center and then over towards the left side. Rotate the chest towards the thigh, look towards the knee, and reach the right shoulder down towards the mat. Excellent. Walk the hands back to the center. Use them for support. And let's walk our toes and heels together about 6 to 12 inches, okay? So feel free to adjust the feet at any time throughout the next posture, but we're gonna work on stretching the inner thighs now. So let's take a deep breath in, lift the chest up, have it parallel to the mat. And as we exhale, we're inching our fingertips over towards our right leg, bending the right knee and reaching our hips back. So our torso stays parallel to the floor. We're finding that stretch all the way down the inside of the left leg. Let's take an inhale, come back through center. Exhale, bend the left leg, reach the hips back. Feel that stretch down the right leg. So sink back through the tailbone. And let's release. Straighten out the left leg, bring your hands back to center, tuck the chin towards the chest, and let's come all the way up. Rolling the shoulders back and breathing deeply. Good. Bring the feet together. Shake out the legs. Feet should be under the hips, toes pointing forward. Let's bring our hands to prayer position for chair pose. So inhale and exhale, bend the knees, reach the tailbone back, keeping the knees stacked over the ankles. And when you're down low in that chair pose, as low as you can go, we're gonna tuck the tailbone under, flatten out the lower back, keep the chest open and lifted, looking forward, building strength through our quads, our glutes, our inner thighs. This can challenge our balance, so focus the eyes on a point that's not moving. Let's take one more breath. And then exhale, fold forward, hands down to the mat, lift your heels, sink your hips down to meet them, balancing on the balls of the feet, building strength through the feet and ankles. When you're ready, inch your palms off the mat, inch your fingertips up little by little. Either bring them to your legs, or maybe bring your hands together at your heart, or some variation that makes you nice and steady. All right, so again, we're really focusing on building strength through the lower body here. So if your arms are extended in some direction, whatever works for you, that's fine. Notice if the knees are moving away from each other, pull them back in so they're in line with your hips. Excellent. Let's lower our hands down to the mat, lower the knees, keep the toes tucked, sit back on the heels, stretch the soles of the feet now. Shoulders should be back and relaxed. Excellent. Let's bring our hands down, flatten the tops of our feet, and just take a nice deep breath here. So stretching out the front of the ankle in hero pose. So we're not going to stay here very long. But we are going to remain on our mat, and we're going to be on our knees for a bit of time. So you may want to roll the mat over to give yourself a little extra cushion. I'm actually going to turn and face the side of my mat. I don't know about the setup in your room, but we're going to need space side to side. Okay, so maybe facing the side edge of your mat might work a little bit better. Okay, so let's pull in a portion of the mat. Create a little pillow for our knees, walk our knees on top of that section, and lift the torso up. So we're gonna start with the right leg under the hip, and we're gonna step our left foot out to the left side for gate pose. So bring the left hand to the left hip, roll the shoulders back, make sure they're stacked over the hips. Right arm is reaching up all the way towards the sky. Inhale. And exhale, lean to the left. So we're keeping our chest, face, and hips forward. Reaching through the fingertips, finding that length through the right side of the torso, through the left inner thigh. That hand maybe could slide down the legs. We don't want to put any pressure on the knee joint, but just a light, relaxed hand. Let's take one more inhale. And exhale all the way up through center and over to the right side, planting the right hand on the mat under your shoulder. And now we're going to turn on the medial glute. So flex the left foot. Let's lift it up in line with the body. Draw the abs in. They're helping support you as well, keeping you balanced. But we really want to feel it here. So ideally we have the leg in line with the torso. If this is too much at any point, you can lower the toes to the mat, take a little break, and lift the foot back up when you're ready. But just like our balance posture, because it's challenging, sometimes we have a tendency to hold our breath, but it's so important to keep breathing deeply. Let's take one more inhale. And exhale that foot back down. Excellent. Bring our hands forward. We're going to slide our left foot all the way back behind us. I'm kind of hidden by my own mat here, and bring it to the back right corner of our room. Lower the knee and then slide it in, tucking it against the right leg. Take the right toes and point them to the back left corner of the room. So create space for your hips by walking your feet away from one another. Once you have your feet planted, we're just going to very gradually, slowly walk the body back. And this can change from night to night, so we really just want to move slowly and gently. If you can, we're lowering both hips to the mat between our heels, but some nights we may just have one hip down, or we may find that this is enough of a stretch, okay? And that's totally, totally fine. So wherever you are, whether it's holding the hips up or one or both hips down and grounded, I'd like you to bend your elbows and lower your chest a little bit towards the thighs. If you are grounded on the mat and you can walk your hands out a little bit further, give that a try. And don't forget to breathe, relaxing your torso and your face down towards the mat, towards your legs. Notice if your quads or calves or shoulders, anything, if it's tense, let it relax, let your body melt down into the mat. Excellent. Let's walk our hands back in, bring them to either side of our hips, press into the palms, lift the hips up. Now walk the hands forward and bring the left leg back under your left hip. So we're gonna do the same thing in reverse. If like me, your mats come unfolded, just fold it back up, bring your knees on top of that pillow. And now we'll step our right foot out to the right side. Walk our hands up. So our right hand's on the right hip, left arm is up, fingertips towards the sky. So nice long line before we move into our side fold. And on your next exhale, hinging over. So keeping the shoulders stacked over the leg. Let's inhale and exhale, release, coming up through center and then over to the side, lowering the left hand down under the left shoulder and flexing the right foot, lifting it up off of the floor, press through the heel, turning on the side body, draw the abs in, the chest open, breathing deeply. Excellent. Let's lower our foot down, bring the hands forward for support. And now take the right foot and sweep it back all the way to the back left corner. Lower the knee, slide it in. Now take the left leg and point the toes towards the back right corner. Walk those heels apart as best as you can so we can walk our body back, sitting our hips down between the heels. Right? Again, we're going to bend the elbows, lower the chest towards the thighs, and if your hips are grounded, you can walk your hands out into what should be a comfortable stretch, meaning a stretch you can sustain. It shouldn't be painful. It should just feel like a good stretch. If it's too much, walk your hands back in or lift your chest up off of your thighs a little bit. And let's walk our hands back in. Place them on either side of the legs. Press into the palms. Lift the hips up. Walk your hands forward and bring the right leg back over to the right side of the body. Let's sit back on our heels. Take a couple breaths in child's pose. Breathing deeply. Let's lift the head up, look forward, and come into downward facing dog. To work on increasing our range of motion through the hips as well as strengthening the glutes, we're going to do a couple leg lifts. So we'll move with the breath. So let's inhale our right heel up, keep the foot flexed, and exhale it back down to the mat. Inhale, left leg up. So work and lift from the glute and exhale down. Inhale right, exhale down. Inhale left, exhale down. Let's do one more each side. Inhale right and down. Exhale left and down. Good. Let's inhale our right leg up. Bend the knee this time. We'll move into pigeon pose. So draw the knee forward, lower between your hands. Relax the left leg back. Inhale, lift the chest up. And exhale, fold forward over the thigh, walking your hands out, letting your forehead rest on the hands or maybe one fist on top of the other. If you notice your right hip sinking down to the mat, lift it up. We want both hips even distance above the floor. Good, let's inhale, head, neck, and chest up. Walk our right hand back, place it just outside the right knee or upper thigh, and bend the left leg. So turn on the left glute and hamstring. Lift the left heel, reach back with the left hand, grabbing a hold of the foot. Draw it in towards the torso. And let's release. Bring the left hand forward, framing the right knee. Curl the left toes, press into the palms. Let's step back to downward dog. Nice full breath. And switching sides, left heel up, Bend the knee, pull it in towards the chest, and lower it down between the hands. Relax the right leg back. Inhale, lift the chest, look upwards. Exhale, fold forward. Breathing deeply. Inhale, head, neck, and chest up. Walk our hands back. Place the left hand just outside the knee or upper thigh. Now bending the right leg, lifting by using the glute and hamstring. Reach back with the hand for the foot or ankle and draw the foot in towards your torso. Feel that stretch down the front of the right quad and hip flexor. Excellent. Let's release. Bring the right hand forward, and we're going to step our left leg back and come all the way down to the mat. So relax on your abdomen, stack one hand on top of the other, rest your cheek on top and take a couple nice deep breaths. You can let your heels roll away from one another. Even out your breath. Let's draw the toes and heels together, roll the shoulders back, and we're going to slide our hands so they're just under the shoulders and then lift them up off the mat about an inch. So we're going to warm up the muscles of the lower back and isolate them for the next posture. So on our inhale, lift through the crown of the head. Lift your face, neck, and chest gently off of the mat, looking upwards. Keeping the shoulders back, away from your ears, keeping the legs flat on the floor. Nice deep breaths here. Building strength through the lower back. One more breath. And then gently come down with the same control. So it's not a large range of motion, but we're still really building strength through the back of the body. Let everything relax now. We're going to do that one more time. Bring the heels together, slide the hands under your shoulders. This time, keep the palms planted on the mat, fingers spread wide, elbows are bent and tucked in next to your rib cage. But start with the muscles of the lower back. So as you inhale, lift your face, neck, and chest little by little, just as we did before. When you can't lift any higher, press through the palms and use the triceps, the muscles along the back of the upper arm, to lift a little bit more. But keep that space between the earlobes and the top of your shoulders. Tilt the chin up slightly, looking up towards the ceiling, finding length through the muscles of the face, neck, and chest. Let's take one more breath. And then come down with the same control. So use the triceps until you can let the lower back take over. And then lower your torso all the way down. Stack one hand on top of the other. Rest your cheek on top and breathe. Reach your left arm straight out in front of the left shoulder. Reach the right arm back alongside your body. Bend the right knee. Grab a hold of the foot or ankle. Pull the heel in towards the glute. So this is just like the balance practice we had earlier. We want to reach our kneecap down towards the bottom of our mat, finding more length through the right quad and hip flexor. Our forehead can be flat on the mat. Maybe you are more comfortable with your temple down on the floor. You certainly don't need to look upwards like I am. But again, this is really about the lower body for the moment. If you can, turn on that glute and hamstring. See if you can find some space between the front of the thigh and the mat. So work on lifting that leg up and lowering it back down. That'll get us ready for bow pose, which is coming next. Good. Let's release the right foot. Bring the right arm forward, planting the palm in line with the shoulder. And we'll switch sides, bending the left leg now, reaching back with the left hand. Pull the heel towards the glute. And sometimes we end up walking the knee wide on the mat so we can get a hold of that foot, and that's totally fine. But if you find that you're doing that, bring the thighs back together, okay? We want the knee directly in line with the hip. Reach down through the knee, find that stretch, and then play around. Turn on that glute and hamstring, see if you can lift the toes, see what that feels like on this side. If you prefer to prop your torso up a little bit to give it a try, go ahead. So from here, we're going to move into bow pose. You're welcome to keep the left foot in your hand, or you can reach back for both feet at the same time, starting out by pulling the heels in towards the glutes, walking the thighs in so the knees are in line with the hips. And now we're going to combine that bow prep pose with the cobra we did before. So turn on the muscles of the lower back, lift the face, neck, and chest, look upwards, roll the shoulders back and together, press the feet into the hands, turn on the glutes and hamstrings, reach the toes up towards the sky, and breathe. Your deep breaths may actually rock your body. That's totally fine. Take one more breath and release. Lower the thighs, release the feet. Press the palms into the mat under your shoulders. Lift your hips up. Walk your knees wide. Bring the big toes together and sit back on your heels for a modified child's pose. Really letting the lower back relax and sink down between the legs. Lift the head, neck, and chest up. And bring your hips to the center of the mat and roll back, letting your body relax. Keep the knees bent just for the time being. Tuck the shoulder blades under. And breathe deeply into the chest. Walk your heels in towards your glutes. Reach your arms down along the length of your body. Fingertips coming to the back of the heels or ankles. Tuck your shoulder blades a little bit closer for bridge pose. Let's inhale. And as we exhale, press into the soles of the feet. Lift the hips nice and high, building strength through the hamstrings and glutes. Draw the knees in, engaging the inner thighs. Excellent. Let's release. Lower the hips down and hug the knees in towards your chest. Gently rock side to side, massaging the back. And then keeping the knees bent, lower the soles of the feet to the mat. Pick up your right leg, and instead of placing your ankle on your left knee, we're going to stack the right knee on top of the left knee. So thighs are together as if we're sitting cross-legged in a chair, okay? Extend the arms out at shoulder height, and because our right leg is on top, we're going to lower the legs to the left, okay? So gently lowering the knees to the left side. We're going to feel that stretch through the hip, the lower back, keeping our shoulders grounded and looking past the right fingers. Excellent. Let's gently bring the knees back up. Bring the right foot to the floor, and we'll switch sides. So pick up the left leg, cross the left knee on top of the right. And gently lower the knees down to the right side. Look over the left shoulder. And bring the knees back up through center. And let's lower them down to the mat for final relaxation. Just as we started class, you're welcome to always bend the knees for a little bit more relief on the lower back, or bring the soles of the feet together if you want that inner thigh and hip flexor stretch. And now you should be more warmed up. That might feel a little bit more comfortable or available to you. So any of those positions are great. But the most important thing is that we roll the shoulders back away from our ears, open up the chest and collarbone, breathe deeply into the abdomen, the chest, and back. Placing a hand on the chest or the abdomen may help. And let go of all thoughts, plans, and ideas. If you have a hard time letting your mind relax, it's hard to turn off, but now's the time to focus on the breath. So notice the sensation of the rib cage and abdomen expanding and relaxing. Bring your awareness all the way down your body to your feet. And then mentally repeat after me. My toes, feet, and heels are releasing and relaxing. My toes, feet, and heels are released and relaxed. My ankles, calves, and knees are releasing and relaxing. My ankles, calves, and knees are released and relaxed. My thighs, hips, and buttocks are releasing and relaxing. My thighs, hips, and buttocks are released and relaxed. My abdomen and lower back are releasing and relaxing. My abdomen and lower back are released and relaxed. My fingers, hands, and wrists are releasing and relaxing. My fingers, hands, and wrists are released and relaxed. My forearms, elbows, and upper arms are releasing and relaxing. My forearms, elbows, and upper arms are released and relaxed. My chest, back, and shoulders are releasing and relaxing. My chest, back, and shoulders are released and relaxed. My neck, head, and face are releasing and relaxing. My neck, head, and face are released and relaxed. My mind is calm. My breathing is even. And I am completely relaxed. Home. Bring awareness back to your body and begin to move your fingers and toes. Gently press back up to a seated position. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. Namaste.